and the English terrible, and yeah. So it's good to see everybody. I'm just gonna take you on a short car ride with me, and that's about it. I look so horrible at the moment. Yikes. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you all about something that's really important. First of all, I've got a new opportunity coming up in my life where I'm taking this, it's like a program for my own health and well-being with everything that's been going on, and I have the opportunity to then work for them, and they would help me to be able to become a counselor for people with substance abuse problems, which I know a lot about from my past and from losing my best friend to that. May he rest in peace. His name was Justin. I miss him every day. And it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. The areas that I work in, where I help people, are vast. I work in a lot of areas, but I don't have a lot of experience in that area, and I would like to be very qualified in it. I would like to know a lot. As far as I've got personal experience, I'd like to be qualified so I could help in a deeper way. I could do more, if that makes sense. So I'm going to work really hard to be able to do that so I can give back, since I've gotten my life back for the last about 10 years almost, thanks to programs, thanks to people who listen and who talk and who have been there. And it's so important to give back and to really work hard to not judge these people. You know, my story was different. I didn't go out and decide to use drugs. I've never taken a dollar, stolen a dollar from anyone. I've never stolen anything from anyone. I've never punched stuff. I've never been that type of person. I've always, not that I've never sold something, but I've never been the type to be like that. I worked, I was high functioning, no one knew. Everyone was shocked. And it was because I was a tiny kid when I was introduced to it by really bad people. And that's terrible and sad. It's what happened. And a lot of addicts aren't what you think. It's something I don't like to talk openly about because people judge me and they judge others. And I'm not that person. I also wasn't that person when I was using. By the time I was 15, 16, I was just using to not be sick. And I was told and convinced by somebody in my family very close to me that I wouldn't be okay, I wouldn't live if I tried to get off it. And I believed them very strongly. And that's scary that they lied to me and they treated somebody like that so terribly. I apologize for the lighting, by the way. It's the sun, but I can't change it. But it's one of those things where it's so many people are judged. And yes, there are people who are trustworthy addicts who have done some bad things and who have stolen or have cheated the system or have pawned stuff and been down on their luck. But I was never that. And I guess that's why I didn't like talking openly about it. And that's why with peer support and everything I'm doing, I've not been counseling people in that way. I've not been peer support to those. I've not been listening and helping people with those issues because I don't necessarily want to be judged in that effect, that way, in that manner, and that's not fair to them. Because these people deserve to have somebody who really understands on their side who could help them. And I'm really excited to do that, to further my education that way. And I think it'll be really important. It's really a good thing for them, for everybody. Also, when I was doing this, I was talking to the person and telling them what I get up if they asked you, like, name good things about yourself, name things that you like to do about in this program, the one I will hopefully work for, in a couple of months or whatever it may be. So I was naming these things, and at the end of it, like, I asked her about like homework things to do, and she said, yeah, in the future she does do that if you're someone who likes it, and I do like it. She said, yeah, of course. And she said, well, she didn't have any honor or whatever. And she said, well, you know what, I'm going to give you homework. And she told me to go and do something for myself that didn't involve my kids or anything else around me. And that meant a lot to hear, because I try so hard to be a good mom. And when I was dealing with postpartum, the person who really hurt me, I'm getting really open in this video, which I normally am not, which is really surprising. So I apologize, trigger warning here. The person who essayed me and hurt me really badly when my little one was still a baby, just a couple months old, told me that I was not a good mom. I said I try to be a good mom. He said, how are you a good mom? In what way are you a good mom? I said, well, I always try to be. I always try to do something. Well, you leave. I go to work. Yeah, but that's a bad mom. When you come home, you're tired. Like, you hold them and you fall asleep with them. How's that being a good mom? Well, they're babies. They sleep a lot. I've got a little toddler, 2-year-old, and a baby. So, yeah, so, I get up, I still change during the night, feed them, and do everything. Yeah, but you're a bad mom. And I don't know. It just broke my heart, because I had severe postpartum depression, and I was not helped at all, and I was very down and very hurt, and I was getting beaten on a daily basis by my alcoholic partner, and it was just a nightmare. It was horrible, and he was using in front of me while he had this baby, and it was my drug of choice in the past while I was still remaining sober at the time, and it was so hard. That's what made me go and decide to, because it was just too hard to watch, it was too hard to be there, it was too tempting. That's what made me start to fall down mentally a bad path. I started to drink and realize that I was starting to relapse in my own sense, and that's why I went to the first time in my life, a methadone clinic. And because of my tolerance especially back in the day, because of how much I would use, I used to use at least 5 grams a day of heroin when I used. It was always intravenous, always IV. But again, we're talking 19 years ago when I was using. But because my tolerance was so high, I got up to 420 milligrams of methadone. And so many people think methadone is like you're getting high and you're getting messed up. Nowadays, they watch you, and if your eyes start to shut or you start getting tired at all, they drop your dose immediately. They're checking your peak and trough levels. They're checking everything to be sure that you can't feel anything except for it's blocking the effects of the other drugs and it's keeping you not sick, basically. At least at my clinic, they're so strict and they're so rigid about it. I don't feel anything of mine. I feel no effect other than it helped me to feel mentally less cravings and less hurt, and I was able to leave that person. And now I'm still waiting for court to put that person in jail for a long time, because he's a very dangerous person. But all of that aside, it's amazing to me how judgmental people are, people who are on like Suboxone or anything along those lines. But they don't say you're not sober if you're on that. And I had a long time sober. It was 6.5 years sober before, like 6.5, almost 7 years sober before I had to make the choice to go on the methadone, so I wouldn't fall back into that lifestyle. I feel like it would help me mentally. It was a very sober decision, and it was I don't know. It was very upsetting to see how many people react the way they do. I get it, back in the day it was you could get these pills of methadone and they're very unregulated and they get you messed up. And nowadays it's a liquid and it's very regulated and it does not do the same thing. It's not the same. I've taken methadone back in the day, like just trying not to get sick when I was a kid, and it's very different. And it's not fair. It's a way to get these people off the street, to get them to stop using, to stop buying illicit drugs, to stop stealing, to be on something that's keeping them clean. And if people knew the difference between what the other drugs are doing to them and what this is, there's no high to it. They're not messed up, they're not fucked up, they're not doing anything bad. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I wish that anyone who judged it would have to live a couple months, even just 1 month, in the shoes of somebody using heavy heroin use, and then go on methadone or Suboxone and see that all it does is it quiets those voices. It shuts up a disease. And for people who say, well, it's not a disease, you can't give yourself a disease. What about herpes? You give yourself herpes. What about AIDS? You give yourself AIDS. There's lots of diseases you give yourself. It is a disease if you look at the structure of it, if you look how it's put together. It's something within you that you're predisposed to. You have to be so careful about it. Some people could use and then just put it down and never go back. And other people, they use it and it's just, they're hooked immediately. And it's so sad. These people really need help. And the fact that I went cold turkey off of it after all those years. It was supposed to be, a couple days in and you leave. I was in there for 9 days. That's a lot. That's way over the normal 2 to 3. Sometimes even one night for certain people. They're really just trying to get in there and get okay. But it was bad. It was dangerously bad. I was since a tiny kid being given this. And it's been very selfish of me to limit what I do for these people, to limit my knowledge in this field, to not get more accreditation in it so I can help. Because to talk to somebody who, yes, I've been off it a long time, but I understood it from childhood on, to talk to somebody who has that kind of perspective, it's very different. And who all the stereotypes, whenever you started using, you stopped maturing. That's not true either, because then I would be a newborn baby, just about to be a 2-year-old. That's bullshit. It makes your emotions numb, and you have to regulate how they feel differently. You have to all of a sudden experience those emotions for the first time and learn how to process them, and it's very different. That's what it's like. That's what it feels like to come back on. I got PTSD because I was sexually assaulted, and hell beat out of me. And then 6 months later, I decided to go cold turkey off of my drug of choice. And I had started using an upper to stay awake too, so I was on 2 drugs at the time. And I would cold turkey one off of and alcohol. And all of a sudden, all the emotions from my whole life, from family member forcing me to use stuff as a tiny kid, as all this stuff comes back to you, all the emotions that you didn't feel because you were numb, they all hit you as you're laying in a bed and can't move because you're pouring sweat. They had 6 blankets on me, heavy blankets, and I was pouring sweat, burning up with the fever, and I was sobbing that I was so cold. Please, please, please warm me up. Sobbing. They're like, we can't put anything else on you. We have nothing else. We have no more extra blankets. Please, please. That's all I could say. Didn't know what else to do. I was so frigid. I'll never forget that. And I had to talk to the doctor. They give you just medicine in there while you're there. And I had to walk across, and I fainted because I was so weak. And I just talked to him there. I asked if he could please come in my room to talk. I needed a lay and to help me get in there. It was the worst thing in the world, except for childbirth, because I have a really hard time with it because of my PTSD from childbirth. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And people need to understand that. And I need to be able to help people, but not only that, I want to help their families understand, because I was able to just walk away. And I was able to walk away and be around it, be around people on it, and not use again, because I didn't ever want to feel that again. That sick was it was something out of a nightmare. It hurt. It hurt so deeply. It was something. And I want people to understand the fear these people feel about getting sick, why they're like that. They're not just using you because they want their next fix. They're terrified of what's coming. The fear you feel when you're not able to get money, when you're not able to feel something. Luckily, I could work. I was higher functioning. But if I had a day where, let's say, I was working and for some reason my card had an issue and it was blocked, I couldn't take money out at the ATM, I can't explain to you the mental horror you feel. That mental it's the most horrific thing in the world. You feel like your world is crashing down, and your whole body, the pain in your body, it is a kind of pain that you can't describe. Everything aches, everything hurts, it's pins and needles. It feels like you're just hit by a car. It's the worst pain ever. You're so sick, and then you have to try to, whatever it may be, for at least me as an IV user, you have to try then to find a vein. And I always think that this is also controversial, but there's a lot of people that have terrible addictions or very deep addictions, but they weren't IV users. And I think there's a huge difference between that. And there's always the egos and groups and stuff of, oh, I used and it was worse than yours. And I think it's not a fucking competition. Everybody has a horrible story, but I do think there is something different. I don't have any surface veins left 10 years later that they can reach. I have to be ultrasounded or have PICC lines, and ultrasounds don't even work half the time. It's of all the scar tissue I have. I've shot up in my tongue before because I couldn't get anything else. My neck, I tried under my eye once. Tried to get the tiny veins because I was so desperate. Those are the stories we need to talk about openly. Those are the things that we need to get out there. Those are the things that we need to say, because it's not these evil people who are just trying to fuck everyone over. These are scared, sick people who need help. And a lot of them probably won't get better. A lot of them probably will pass away or not treat their families right and not be thinking straight. A lot of them probably won't have 10 years sober. A lot of them probably won't hit these milestones and do better and all of the other things in the world. A lot of them won't. But some of them will. And if I can reach one or two people even, that's still one or two people that got better. And then that means their parents got better. So that's one or two people got better and their parents got better. So now we have 6 people. It's 2 parents each, 6 people. And then if you have their grandparents, that's 10 people. On each side, that's even more. That's 12 people. So it keeps going on and on. You had siblings, you had aunts, uncles, friends. Those are all the people affected just because you made one person better. Their co-workers, their life, their spouse, their kids. You made something better just by one person getting better. How much did you affect? A lot. It might seem like it's just one person, one thing, but you made it better. And I think think that's so important. And I never like talking about this. I don't like opening up about this part of my life. But it's so far gone with me that I don't want to bury it. If I bury it, I'm not going to help anybody, am I? And that's even less fair. It's less fair to help nobody and just leave everybody hanging when I could really help. I help people every day. That's what I do all day long. I help people, I help animals. That's what I do. And this is something I could really make a difference with. So I'm really excited to work this program. But I really wanted to get on here and just say, please, this world, this video is probably going to get taken down for this, but this world is getting scary. And the fentanyl out there, the stuff in it, how strong it is, it's not just made by the people using it or the dealers. There are stronger authorities that have to be involved, putting the way the compounds in the carfentanil that's found in a lot of narcotics out there now. The way carfentanil is made, it's not made in somebody's basement. It's made in a very professional lab. I won't say the words because I don't want this taken down, but there are people who have lots of power, lots of legal power, if you know what I mean. It starts with a G. Anyway, but yeah, it's not just the dealers. Please look up I believe it's Iraq or Iran, I'm not sure offhand. I haven't looked this up in years, but look at the opium poppies. We have American troops, soldiers out there guarding them and protecting them so no one hurts them. Why do you think that is? So we don't want them gone. We need them. We need to keep people addicted. We don't want them not addicted. Think of the money we make. So we need good people on the other side speaking up. We need that. Because it's population control. Just say it, it's a mass slaughter. And these are good people. These are not monsters. These are not people that are hurting others on purpose. These are people that are afraid to feel pain like I can't even describe to you. And it's from head to toe crippling pain. And these people are terrified because a lot of people aren't strong. A lot of people can't handle pain and freak out. And the majority of people can't handle pain and freak out. And that's what's happening. So these people need less judgment about going and getting actual help and staying on a medication. They need their families to not ridicule them if they go and get on a medication like methadone, like Suboxone, or take a shot like Vivitrol or the Suboxone shot, so they can block the opiate use. These medications make it so you cannot use. You cannot feel the effects, or you'll even get sick if you use it with some of them. That's what we need. So we need less judgment. I know there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me, but what we're doing now isn't working. We're losing children, young children to this. I lost my best friend to this. He was using fine. He was living. He had a life like me, as we were best friends. He had a horrible life where his biological somebody, I can't say, for respect for him, may rest in peace, started him on stuff when he was 9 years old, which is much older than when I was given it. But he was still a little kid. And he used up until he was in his 30s. And all of a sudden, he just dropped dead from trying stuff. That's how dangerous it is now. I've hit through story after story. We need to protect these people. We need to understand it. And we need more people confident. There's people who have done it and gotten away from it. And not for a month or two and they go back 500 times. We need people who are away from it. We also need people who are in it. People who are still using it and can't get off it, to actually talk and explain how they feel and be open about it and not be judged. So other people can look and understand what they're going through. We're human beings. I don't care what other people think of them. We need to be united and help each other. I don't care if you're left or right, red or blue, what you feel. We're all people. We need to be together. We need to help one another no matter what. I'm in the middle. I think we should be pro-choice in the way that if I'm sexually assaulted, I don't want to keep the baby. That's fine. That's my right. If I want to keep it, I want to. If I don't, I don't. That should be my choice. That shouldn't be the government's. Abortion is so expensive in the United States, there's no way people are going to just be using it as birth control. It's $1,000. There's no way. Bare minimum $650. Bare minimum. And that was many years ago, the last time I talked to somebody about it and helped somebody with one, to go through something with one. I mean, that's something I support. I think we should have rights. I think we should be free to have our rights, to protect ourselves, our body, our land, our everything. We should have rights. I'm on both sides. I think on both sides of the spectrum. I'm not this open liberal, and I'm not a super conservative. I'm in the middle, and I think that we should all be able to love, all be able to get married, all be able to be happy. We should all understand each other. Everybody should be able to talk to one another. Everybody needs that. We need each other now. It doesn't matter the color of our skin. It doesn't matter who we love, what we do for a living, how much money we make. Right now, with the way the world is, we need good people at heart, to get together and work together to make this a better place and to stop our children from dying. I don't want my kids to go and die because they had fentanyl on weed and they don't understand it. I don't want that. I want this world to be safer. And the only way to do that is if we start working together. The government was made to keep us separate in many ways, to keep us divided. Divide and conquer. That is the most true statement in the whole world. Divide and conquer. It works every time. And we can't do that right now. We just can't. We need to be together. We need to stand together. We need to work together. We needed to stop caring so much about the little petty shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone wants their pronouns to be different. What matters is there are so many people dying. They're just trying to distract us. Why do you care what somebody looks like? Why do you care who somebody's sleeping with? You're not in their bedroom. It matters that it could be your cousin next. It could be your brother next. It could be your sister, your wife. It could be anybody you care about next. And you don't want that. You don't want it to happen. I hope that someone listens to this and it helps somebody. And I hope that we can together really start opening people's eyes and saving at least somebody in this world. Because people need help. And there's a lot of good people who can help them. I really love you guys, and I hope that we can maybe talk more often like this. I love doing these videos, but I'm not sure that people want to listen, per se. I've been so insecure lately. I've had some really bad health issues, and there's a medication I have to take just for a tiny bit longer that causes you to hold tons of water weight. Even on a water pill, even eating almost nothing a day, it caused me to gain 29 pounds. And it's so frustrating because I always weigh the same thing all the time. Like, I never ever falter from my normal weight, and it's the most annoying thing in the whole world. I get so frustrated with it, and I managed to lose a little bit. I gained the 29 and I lost 9, which is fine, but I just can't get rid of the 20 at all. I'm normally 117 all the time, never ever not 117. And when I first went up the 29, I freaked out about it, and now it's 20 up, but like, it still really makes me insecure, especially with my past issues with eating and food and everything that are still like looming. So it makes me hesitant to post stuff. I also, other than mascara, I don't wear any makeup anymore to like go out and do stuff because my skin's so sensitive with wearing the breathing masks at night and everything I've been having to do. My face is so sensitive. I wash it a couple times a day, not just once a day now, and I'm constantly putting stuff on it. So I'll put mascara on, but I'll never put on fake lashes anymore. And I normally didn't. I'd only put them on maybe once a month for like photo shoot. Now I'll just use my real lashes. I won't do anything else, like nothing on anywhere else on my face. So unless I have a photo shoot, but I still will use my real lashes. I still will just put the bare minimum. So I still I feel insecure. Like, I have sunburn right now that I couldn't cover. Right here is irritated from the breathing mask that I have on. And it's like, those are real insecurities that it's like, I don't necessarily love the idea of someone looking at me when I'm 20 pounds heavier than I want to be, and I can't do anything about it. I work out for at least an hour of hard working out a day, and then I run 5 miles in the morning and 5 miles at night with my dog, my border collie, and I play with my kids every day actively for a long time, and I work, I'm very active, so it's not me, it's just, and it's very common. I was warned about it after I started taking it, of course. But it's very hard when you're insecure. So I apologize for my insecurities, but I'm trying to be very open and honest about everything. And I really would like to talk more and just be here more and I don't know, post more. It really is therapeutic. And I have so much I want to say to anybody who want to listen. I love you guys, and I love doing this. I hope you have a really good day.